You good, bud?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fight with Teddy Atlas and Teddy Atlas. It's good to have you here. I'm back in my old seat. Been doing this for a little while now. We promised you we would do it, live streaming for the fights that matter. And although I think they all matter, they matter to somebody, but the ones that matter the most, hopefully, to you guys. And keeping our word, we did the whole weekend. We did Friday night from outdoor show that was first time ever that you had any kind of scene or event. And I think event is right because it was more like an event than it was really good fights, to be quite frank. And we always like to be honest here. Saturday, last night, Canelo wasn't much of a fight. And tonight we got, well, you know what it comes down to tonight? It comes down to the way I would frame it, that if you watch those movies, one time Godzilla was brought in to save the world. And tonight, the monster seems to have the job of saving boxing from the weekend because it took, pardon the pun, a beating over the weekend with the kind of fights or non-fights that took place. And that's kind of what urged me on to wear this shirt, hoping that I could send out some waves, of energy to have a fight. And I think we got the right guy to do it with, to really make up for the last two nights. You got the right guy, you got Inaway. And I got the right guy to do these fights with you. My guy, my son, Teddy Atlas the third. Hey, buddy.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Good. Um, as long as we get good fights, I'll be doing good because, the last two nights, the fans didn't need Sominex. They didn't need, they didn't need any of those things that sometimes you take over the counter for trouble, when you have trouble sleeping. Um, they had boring fights. Again, we like to bring it straight and truthful, and that's straight and truthful. Real quick, we'll be encapsulating more of it on our podcast on Tuesday. Normally we go up on Monday because we're doing the show, the live streaming tonight on Sunday. Of course, we're going to want to cover that fight or this fight on a podcast, so we're not going to do the podcast. We put it off. It'll be up Tuesday because we're actually doing tomorrow. Otherwise, we would have did it today on Sunday, so we can bring all fights to you. And hopefully, Inaway will save the day because he needs to save the day to bring the energy back to the sport. Where these fights were anything but entertaining. And I'm going to give a quick, not a recount or recap, but a quick overview of me, what the excuses could be, the reasons could be. You hate to say excuses, but excuses or reasons, what they could be. One is that, and again, it's just shooting it straight, being in the business as long as I've been. Some of the fighters, maybe it looked like they didn't fight with urgency, making too much money too easy, taking things for granted, getting spoiled. Listen, I'm putting it out there, possibility. Other thing with some of them, Ryan Garcia, definitely Haney, where lacking confidence, trying to find themselves, maybe even with Ryan Garcia, maybe, if he was guilty of taking pets, I don't know. That's what was said. He said no, but if he was, then maybe this time being without them was a reason why his confidence wasn't high. But he was lacking that confidence, that extra confidence. I think that those could be some things that are possible. And I'll put one other thing that's tough, bud. It's a tough one. that maybe some of these guys are overrated. Yeah, I said it. Maybe. But and look, bad style matchups. You gotta have matchmakers. That's all. But I tell you, here's a guy that don't need a matchmaker. Espinosa, the world champion. He can fight tall. He can fight long. He can fight inside. He can fight in a phone booth. All I know that he does every time is he can fight, and he fights. That's it. I love this guy. One of my favorite fighters. How could you not love him? He throws a lot of punches. He throws hard punches. He goes to the body. He goes to the head. He's got heart. He came off the floor to win the world title. He showed the championship character. I mean, there's nothing not to like. Maybe you want a more disciplined where he fights tall more often. But at the end of the day, see him shaking his head? Yeah, he hears me. He hears me. He's saying, yeah, Teddy. Yeah. I fight. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to entertain. I'm going to fight. I'm going to give it my all. And I'm going to leave this ring with that belt because I will not stop at going to any length that it takes to make sure that I win, that I keep this belt. I will do whatever I have to do to make myself proud, make my family proud, make my country proud, make my fans proud, make myself proud. I will leave on the shield. I believe that he's one of those guys that when he says it, it's not a cliche. So let's get down to business. I think I timed my lead up perfectly. I'm getting better at this. Perfect timing with the bell. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Espinosa, but the tallest featherweight champion ever, 126 pounds. They list him at 6'1". So in those ways, like Sebastian Fundora, right? 154-pounder.
Yeah, and there's the length, there's the height, there's the ability to keep length, own the geography on the outside where you can surf your skills, better. Where with a shorter man, he's got a shorter man, obviously. Put the burden on the shorter man, make him force his way in, make him take gambles, make him take chances, make him go through a bad neighborhood and mug him and use the uppercut. And he's looking for it already.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't know if we're synced up with the audience with our live streaming. You never know. Our timing of our broadcast might be different, but right
what
now,
number you at?
I'm at 52 seconds.
Yeah, me and you are synced up. I'm maybe a second behind you.
But again,
maybe the viewers could sync up.
You want to use the uppercut if you're the taller guy with a shorter guy coming in, crouching forward, catch him. That uppercut could be the end of the night. If he lands it perfectly, maybe blinds him with a jab, and then puts the uppercut, times the uppercut in synchronization right behind it where he doesn't see it. But he's fighting tall. He's using his physical assets that he has. On the outside, owning the geography, as I always like to say, one of the keys to winning fights. Know what your geography is that makes sense for you to be in the ring, to use your skill sets. Know what that is and keep that geography the best you can. And obviously, the opponent, Vasquez, he knows his geography. If he has any chance to pull off the upset, is to get in close. He understands that. He cannot win a fight on the outside. And he's got a tough night. I'll tell you why. Besides that, he's got a champion who believes in himself and who has not learned how to lose. Besides all that, and with talent, besides all that, he can't win on the outside. But I tell you, he has to get inside to win. But Espinosa can handle himself inside too. He can shorten his punches up. I mean, it makes more sense for him to be on the outside because he's got a big advantage there. And Vasquez has no chance on the outside. So it makes sense. He's being smart, like a champ should be, to be where it gives him the best chance and gives the opponent the less chance. But if he has to, he can go inside. And that's the end of the first round. That's an Espinosa round.
For sure.
And I wonder when he's going to land the uppercut. I mean, obviously he's trying to zero in on it. I'll just recap it again, that it's what you would expect, what I would expect. Espinosa, one in control range. How do you control range? Jab. Use that long jab. Get full extension, not half extension, not 3/4. Get full extension. Keep the guy at a place where he can't hit you and you can hit him. And you could touch him with the jab, then you could touch him with other punches. So that's what he wants to do. What does Vasquez want to do? You saw it. He wants to move his head, bring his feet, and try to close the range. That's what he wants to do. Is there an alternative? Yeah. Sometimes you could step out, see if you could set a trap, see if you could get the taller guy to come to you, maybe entice him to give up his height, and then you don't have to reach in. You don't, have to take risks, because right now, this fight, the way it sets up, if Espinosa the champion, if he does his job and fights a disciplined fight with the advantages physically he has, the risk is all on Vasquez. The gamble, the burden is all on Vasquez to take risks to get close. There's that uppercut, bud. I love the way he's so relaxed. His punches, he's silky smooth. He's nice and relaxed. He's, he's sweet music. I always think fighters with, they got to get into a rhythm with their punches where it's music, where it's not broken up, where it flows. And you can see when he gets going with his hands, they flow. Look at that. They flow smooth. They really do. It's good music. It's nice music. I don't think it's ringing real well in the ears of Vasquez right now. I don't think he would say, Teddy Atlas, I appreciate this freaking music you're talking about. No, he's hearing drums, bang, bang, bang. But to me, I'm hearing music. And that uppercut, here's what my trainer, if I put my trainer's hat on, here it is. Blind him with that jab, put the right uppercut right behind it again, Espinosa, but put a left hook on top of the uppercut. In other words, don't hit him with just the one uppercut. Put a left hook right behind it. Instead of hitting him one, hit him two. While you have his head up, hit him with the hook right behind it. And I like the way Espinosa goes to the body, too. I love the way he's so smooth. He's in sync. He's in rhythm. I love the way that sometimes he'll throw the right hand, bud, and he might miss with it, but then he'll slip to his right like that. He'll slip to his right, which does two things. It takes care of two things. It takes care of defense. It moves his head out of the center over to the left, his left, and it puts him in position for the left hook at the same time to the body. He's showing what I talked about. He got hit there. He's showing what I talked about, that he can fight inside. He can handle himself. You got to love this guy. I mean, outside, inside, heart. I mean, I give respect to Vasquez. He's coming to try to take the title. And he's coming the only way he knows how to come. He understands his identity. He understands what he has to live and die by. He ain't winning by being Muhammad Ali tonight, right? He's going to win by being Joe Frazier. And that's what he's trying to do. Just Espinosa's not letting him do it.
Yeah, another good round as we close round two here for Espinosa. Espinosa entered this fight minus 1,200. Huge favorite. His first fight in 2025 now, after his last title defense, the rematch versus the Cuban, former world champion, Robeisy Ramirez. And for Vasquez, those not familiar with him, he's 17-2 entering this fight. He only has 4 knockouts, so not a lot of power there on the resume. Those 2 losses to Joe Cardenas, former world champion who lost his belt to Anthony Caciacci, and one that stood out to me, but he lost a split decision some years back to Ray Ford, one of your favorite fighters who just moved up to 130 pounds. So two tough fighters.
No, that's a good catch, but I'm glad you brought that up and brought it to the attention of the audience to give that resume, to let them know what Vasquez is. He's a good, accomplished fighter. He's a solid fighter. He's a meritable fighter. He's a fighter that deserves to fight for the world title. He's a fighter you can't sleep on. He's a fighter that's not a puncher. But Sarachi, who knocked out Magia 4 months ago, he wasn't a punch either. He lost to Magia, in the rematch last night. But Srirachi, again, counter-puncher wasn't supposed to be a banger, only had 5-6 knockouts. So what does he do? He knocks out Munguia, and he's a huge favorite the way Espinosa was. So you can never say, oh, the guy's got only, X amount of knockouts, 4 knockouts in this case, and you don't have to worry, he can't punch. Anyone can punch if they land a punch you don't see, if they place it right. So that's always a possibility. But as far as Ford, if he could fight that kind of fight with Ford, he can fight, because as you said it already, Ford is one of my favorite fighters. He is a complete talented fighter, is Mr. Ford.
Vasquez starting to have a little success here. Getting inside, some nice left hooks.
And that's where he's got to be, right? He's got to be inside to have a chance. Yeah, what's that saying with lotto? You got to be in it to win it.
Yep.
Well, if you're a little guy and you're fighting a tall guy, you got to be inside to win it. You got to be in it to win it. There's that uppercut. I'm looking for the corner, his trainer, to tell him, all right, you got a pretty good eye on that uppercut. Start to put the hook. You hit it with that right uppercut. Put a short hook. Kind of like Crawford did in a knockout win a couple years ago. I can't remember who it was, but it was a beautiful.
Was it Ndango?
No, but it was someone after that. And it was a beautiful uppercut with a left hook, right, or with whatever hook he turned southpaw on orthodox. I think he hurt Vasquez to the body. It was a beautiful combination, uppercut and then punch on top. I don't know if he did a southpaw or orthodox, because you never know with the great Crawford, because he could do it lefty or righty and not miss a beat. Vasquez, give him A for effort. And he's showing a good chin. I see a guy showing a chin like this. What do I want? I want to see him hit him with 2 punches, hit him with a combination, not one. Okay, son, you proved to me. There's that right uppercut. I want a left hook with it. Okay, son, you showed me you have a good chin. You take my 1 shot good. Let me see if you can take my 2 or 3 good. And then what else do I want, bud? I don't even have to tell you. You know what else I want. What do I want to do with a guy who's got a good chin? Got the body.
Well, thank goodness for this fight already. It only took 3 rounds, and we have more action than all of Friday and Saturday. You wore the right shirt. You brought it.
Yeah, I did. I brought it. I take credit. Thank you. I'll take a little credit for that. I get knocked for stuff. I might as well take credit for some stuff. I will definitely, and I will make a guarantee right now. Stay with us. Tell your friends to come and listen to us. Listen to our broadcast. And in turn, I will give you a guarantee that this night will continue on the trend that it started on, that my son just pointed out. The opposite trend of the last 2 nights, to have exciting, entertaining, offensive-minded fights. And I will not let you leave the house here without a knockout, whether it's this fight or whether it's Inoue. I will guarantee you a knockout or your money back.
Well, this fight, will the fight go the distance live? No, -200. Yes, +150.
Yeah, I think, look, he's shown a good chin, Vasquez. But how long into the champion, either somebody tells him, or he got hit a couple punches there, he's getting touched up. Because why? Vasquez is getting into his range where he has to get to be able to touch him up. And Espinosa stood tall. It's a great advantage when you're tall, as long as you use it on the outside. But if you stand up tall, when the shorter man finally gets close, then it's not a good thing. Then it's a dangerous thing. Then
and you could see to your
That could be
point,
taken
bud.
advantage of because you're a lot of target. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, to your point, you're seeing it right now on the inside when he is straight with the body shots that are landing for Vasquez with that big target you're speaking of.
And there's the right uppercut a minute ago, or a few seconds ago. I want to see something with it. When are we going to see something with it? I mean, either it's the corner's job to bring it out to him if the fighter's not bringing it out himself. Add something with that right up. You're hitting him with the right uppercut. Put something with it. Stop hitting him with one good shot.
He's taking a lot of angles right now, but he's not really getting off after he gets the angle right away.
That's a good point. You know, you're getting in a good position. The good news is when you get the angle, when he moves on his legs, he keeps the flat-footed fighter, the square-footed fighter. You can see how square Vasquez is. He keeps him from punching. I mean, Vasquez is not fast moving his feet, and he can't punch square like that if you give him an angle. That's why he's giving him the angle. Say that he can't punch. You got a second to get off first. And he's doing what you said now. He's doing what you said now. He's doing what you said now.
Oh,
he got the angle, and then he let his hands go, and he hurt him to
hurt
the
him
body.
with that body shot.
Yeah, he hurt him to the
You
body.
hurt him.
You want to
Follow it up. Go back to the body.
Hurt him to the body. You want to do a little live betting? All right, I'm going to do a little live betting right now.
Oh.
Okay, a little live betting. I'm going to say the next round. I'm going to say, well, I guess maybe this round, but I'm going to go. I'm not going to go with the obvious. I'm going to say put down a good one on the next round. Put it down now. Put it down now. That maybe he'll last 20. Now he might not. He might
If
not.
he goes to the body, this is over. He's starting to headhunt too much.
Yeah. He's got 13 seconds to last.
Yeah, go downstairs.
So
it's over.
I'm saying put a bet on the next round. Put a bet on a knockout the next round. Put a bet on a knockout the next round. Put a bet on a knockout the rest round. Okay. All right.
Wow.
I got it in before the end of the round. Let's see now. I don't know what you get on it now because you might not
I'm going to tell you, if you take Espinosa to win next round, round 5,
5
plus
to 1.
900, 9
Beauty. I got it. Put it in for me, but I'll pay you back. All right?
I'll zoom it in.
Zoom it in.
I am surprised the way that just finished that you still get 9 to 1, but round 6, 7 to 1. And if you go to round 8, also 7 to 1 right now. So again,
I can tell you where they're
9 to
thinking
1.
is. I can tell you where the bookie's thinking is. They're thinking Espinosa spent a lot of gas. You know, he got tired. He punched. He drew a lot of punches. That he's going to take a break. He's going to need to regas, reboot this round, and that's going to allow Vasquez to survive. And then he's going to recharge and go and get him the next round. That's what the bookmakers are thinking. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking he's going to pick up where he left off. He's going to use the jab, set up the uppercut, put something with it, and go to the body. Go to the body with the left hook. And to your point, he's doing a good job with his legs, this tall champion, where he uses those legs. He shows mobility, but not just mobility. He shows mobility with good cerebralness. You know, he shows you smart mobility, not just mobility wasted and moving around, but thinking mobility, where he gets an angle for a reason, where the guy can't punch when he gets that angle.
And you hurt him again.
And now he can punch. And like you said, when you get that angle, you got to punch. There, like that. As soon as you get that angle, he's not ready to punch. You got a little bit of a position edge on him where you can hit him something clean, let your hands go. And you don't have to worry when you get an angle. You can let him go right away because you're in a position where for a split second, he can't hit you until he turns. And he's not able to turn fast because his feet are square and he's got slow feet, but he's game. Vasquez is game. He's still getting inside now and he's still catching. He's not a banger, but he's catching. He's catching the champion because when he gets close, the champion gives him too much target. He stands straight instead of getting small or getting his head on the side for defensive reasons. See, this is something as a trainer, win or lose, especially win, you know, we figure Espinosa are going to win. You never know. But win or lose, this is something
This
where
might be it.
you got to, I think we're going to win our bet. I think so.
This
I
might
think so.
be
Go to
it.
the
Go to
body.
the
If he goes
body.
to the body, if he goes to the body and then uppercut, and move your feet. There it is.
Just missed
There
the
it is.
uppercut. Oh,
There it is. There it is. I think we're
what
going to
a
win our
chin
bet.
on Vasquez.
Yeah, great chin. All right,
And
come on, ref. Separate them. We got a bet here, ref. Ref, we got a bet.
We got 9-1 here.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. Take a little step back. Give yourself room. Don't get smothered. Don't get smothered. Step back. That's it. That's the key to being a finisher. Using your feet to move on the inside to not get smothered. Give yourself room to keep the punches going. Get room to keep the punches going. Good. Use that uppercut. He's leaning forward. And go to the body. Don't let him tie you up. You got 17 seconds.
He's done. Oh.
Come on, come on, come on. Step it up. There it is.
Oh.
All right.
I was going to say close but no cigar, but there's a chance they could stop this in the corner right now.
You never know.
Yeah, there is a chance.
I'm gonna say that they might stop in the corner if they're compassionate.
Yeah, he's in bad shape.
If they're honest with themselves, and if they know that I bet on them, and that I might send a little something their way. Obviously, we're joking craziness out there. That might be crazy, but here's the thing. Even though you're going to win this fight, it looks like, right, Espinosa? These are the kind of fights that you don't just look at the good. You look at down the road. You're always looking down the road. You got to be like a great pool player, you know? You got to be like the great, what was the...
Minnesota Fats?
No, he was the gambler. He was a great player, but he was a gambler. Mosconi. Would look, he would run racks. Yeah, he's coming out. We lost the bet. He would run racks. And the way he ran racks was he didn't look for one shot. He looked 3, 4, 5 shots down the road. And what you got to do is the uppercut. If he missed the left hook with it that I was calling for.
Hey, you didn't win it, but just to show you that it was the right play and almost did. Round 6 now is only plus 130. We said last round was plus 900, and then for this round was plus 700. So things change quickly.
Yeah. We had a shot. As long as you have a shot and you're not over betting, you know, you're betting with your head, not over. Just a little fun. It's worth it. But
some other refs may have stopped that.
Yeah, you're right. The thing I was gonna say about a fighter and managing a fighter and training a fighter is where I made the parallel with Mosconi, that you got to look down the road. Yeah, you're happier with this win if you get it tonight. It's not over, but you'll be happy with it and you'll celebrate it. But then you got to look at what you did wrong. You got hit with a short man who's not a puncher, thankfully, right? He's not a puncher, because then maybe you could have incurred more damage. And he's still hitting you. He's hitting you with right hands, some left hooks, but mostly right hands. Your left hand's low, and you're standing up straight when he gets close instead of getting out of the middle into defensive position. You got to correct that. You know why? Because the next opponent you fight, you might not get away with that. If the opening is still there with an opponent who could punch better, you're going to have a problem. So you want to correct it, and you don't want to get intoxicated with the win. You want to say, beautiful win. Now, what could we have done better? So we continue winning. That's me being a trainer. But anyway.
Yeah. I want to ask you, just watching this kid, Espinosa, is so fun to watch too, right? Obviously, his style, just how fan-friendly. He's never in a bad fight. But some of our viewers are asking too, what about a fight with him and Nick Ball?
What
unification fight, style of the fight. And guys are asking, what would you think if Espinosa versus Shushu, Bruce Carrington?
I don't know. I would give Carrington more time before I put him in with Espinosa. I like Shushu a lot. I know him since he's like 11, 12, whatever. When he first came in the gym. I like the kid, but I'd give him more time. I'd like to see him and Ball. Great fight for two reasons. Because of their mentalities, their gifts, their abilities, their temperaments. They're going to fight. And the edge would be Espinosa because of physical height and obvious reasons that maybe he could control the outside and make it difficult for Ball to get close. But you can't count out Ball. Can't count out Ball because he finds ways to get close, number one. Number one, he uses a jab better than people think, by the way, and moves his head pretty good. But one other reason. Espinosa at some point will engage him anyway. He won't win. He won't take the whole fight on the outside. At some point, he will engage Ball in close terms, in the trenches. He will, because that's his temperament. He will engage. There was a great fighter, great Mexican fighter, great world champion, one of the greats, Marco Antonio Barrera. He is on my list of greatest Mexican fighters, Bud, that we put up this week. That's up on our website, up on our channel. He is on that list. He is what a great fighter he was, boy. And he transitioned from being just a slugger to a masterful boxer in his career. But to finish up on what the fans asked me about, I'd love to see Ball because even though he's got the height advantage on him, like I said, at some point, Espinosa and Ball would have a ball. They would have a ball because they would meet. They would meet inside, and they both enjoy fighting, and they would get to it, and we would enjoy it.
Yeah, I just want to say you touched on Bruce Carrington Schuster. For those out there, he started off as a young amateur and was trained at the gyms that our foundation, the Dr. Atlas Foundation, founded. Atlas Cops and Kids Gym. So, like you said, you know him since he is about maybe even less than 11 years old, since he's a little boy. And with that being said, just full transparency, we are friends with Espinosa and his manager. Teddy spoke with Espinosa before this fight today and gave him a little words of encouragement and motivation heading in.
Not that he needs it. Not that he needs it. This great champion doesn't need. You don't need Teddy Atlas, but I respect him a lot. And I don't respect him just as the fighter he is. I respect him the way he carries himself as a human being, inside and outside the ring, the person he is. And because of that, anything I can do that I'm asked to do with him and his manager, I'll be as accommodating as I can. There's the uppercut. I think this will be the last round.
This really is a lot of big shots he's taking.
Yeah, I think this is the last round. Can you bet on it right now? Yeah, it's over. All right.
Yeah, this is done. You were all over this one. I mean, hey, I know it wasn't the win from a money standpoint, but you couldn't ask for better odds, and seeing it that it was going to develop. You were right all over that one. And credit to Vasquez, tough game, just outgunned, right? Yeah, there's levels to this.
There's levels to this, exactly, but just outgunned by this tremendous fighter. But I kept my word. So keep your word now. That was the deal. I'll keep my word and guarantee a knockout tonight after 2 days of anything other than exciting fights. I said you would get knockout. I'm going to go one step further. You're going to get knockouts. You're going to get a knockout with Inaway too. You're going to get a knockout with Inaway too, okay? So the deal was, if I guarantee knockouts, you will pass the word and get all the troops to watch and gather and come on for the live streaming for the next fight.
Before we get to that next fight, Bud, and you give a little preview and breakdown, I just want to throw some questions while we have some time here to you. And I agree with one of the comments coming in. This Adam said, this Espinosa is a beast. He is. Beast, and he's fun to watch. Melcar's asking, first, Bazooka Wilfredo Gomez.
Yeah, Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico. From Puerto Rico, great world champion, explosive. You don't get a nickname Bazooka unless you're explosive, unless you can punch. And explosive offensive fighter. That would be a hell of a fight. I'll tell you one thing. Espinosa couldn't afford to get hit with some of the maybe I don't think I'm not saying he would because he would know.
No. The question was Inoue.
Oh, Inaway. Oh, I'm sorry.
Inoue versus Gomez. I'm sorry. I was doing something here, and I should have said earlier. I wasn't maybe clear.
No, I wasn't listening clearly. Clearly I wasn't listening clearly. Okay, Inaway and Bazooka.
Yes.
Bazooka from Puerto Rico, another place with great history with great champions, great fans, explosive offensive fighter, world champion. I tell you, dangerous fight. Inoue has been on the floor. He has been on the floor. Anyone who's been on the floor, you fight Bazooka, there's a chance he can put you on the floor because that means he can hit you. And it would be an explosive fight. It'd be a hell of a fight. It really would be. One of the great fighters of all time, one of my favorites, and one of the greatest Mexican fighters, and just fighters of all time, was the great Salvador Sanchez. When he fought Bazooka, he beat him. And he beat him because they're both terrific, but Salvador Sanchez was in a different stratosphere. He was in a different place, better defensively, just a master box. He could do more than just punch. He could do a lot more dimensions. And from a mental standpoint, as well as technical and physical, he separated himself. There's not a lot of guys that do that. I think Inoue separates himself. I think Crawford does that. I think that Usyk does that. And I think that Inoue, with that ability, with that ingredient, with that talent, would separate himself in a very interesting, dangerous fight.
Thoughts on the Bacoli versus Jabba? That was maybe the best fight of the weekend. Any thoughts on the rematch most likely going to happen and Bacoli? And he just seemed to me way too heavy. 299 pounds. No excuse. The last time he had one, it was short notice. This time, he had a training camp.
Yeah, give him a little more time. Give him another train. He was very heavy the fight before this. He got destroyed. Give him another training camp. Give him another training camp. He's fun to watch. He's a good guy. He can punch. He's exciting. When he gets into his geography, he can hurt anyone. Give him another chance. If you give him another chance with a longer training camp, I like his chances to win that fight. It was a simple, basic fight. A jobber fights very basic. And so does Bacoli. A jobber very basic. He's tall, he's long, he uses his jab, he controls the outside, he uses his legs, he tries to set the table with the jab and eat with the right hand. He tries to keep you at a distance where he can hit you, you can't hit him, right? I mean, that's what he does. That's what he does. Yeah. And when you get tall, when you're tall like that, like I always say, and the shorter guy gets inside, you better not stand tall. Well, he stands tall in spots, and when Bacoli got inside, what did he do? He was able to find them. He was able to find that long, lean body, a lot of target there. And to the credit of Jabba, he showed a good chin and good heart. At the end of the day, again, when you're watching a Jabba, it's pretty simple. Jab, right hand, and legs, and range. When you're watching Bacoli, pretty simple. Aggression and power. Bang. Done. Move on.
Next, Anthony Orellana asking thoughts on Canelo and Crawford.
I like Crawford. I like Crawford before the bad showing of Canelo. Whether you want to blame it on Skull, you want to blame it on Canelo, you want to blame it on nobody, you want to blame it on the atmosphere of the weekend that there was something in the air that made fighters fight with no urgency, no fire, whatever you want to do. We're going to break it down on the fight plan. You want to on the podcast. If you want to get more detail, more deeper, more definitive, watch the podcast. But as far as answering the question, I thought I picked Crawford soon as the fight was made. He's special. What can I tell you? I'm not saying that Canelo's not tremendous. He is. But I think Crawford is special. All right? What can I tell you? And I picked him when it wasn't as favorable or fashionable to pick him, where everyone said I was crazy. He's going to get knocked out. Now people are saying, oh, why? I could see Crawford having a better chance. I'm sticking. Why would I change? I picked him, when Canelo was looking good. Now, of course, I'm not going to change where Canelo had an off night. If it was an off night, which let's say it was.
Yeah, we have some reviewers who maybe didn't see the live stream last night asking, who do you think won, Canelo or Skull?
I thought it was a hell of a lot closer than that one judge had it. I thought that was terrible.
Yeah, the 119, 109.
I thought it was closer than most of the commentators had it. I give credit to Daniel Jacobs for giving a little credit, and giving a little demerit, giving a little blame to the king, to the untouchable, to the pay-per-view king, the face of boxing, Canelo, where he said, hey, Canelo's got to take some blame for this too, where nobody else was giving him blame. I give Danny Jacobs credit for that. He was the only one who stood up and did that. Didn't worry about the whatever, the paycheck, whatever. But I will, I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was close. I wouldn't have had a problem if it was a draw, believe it or not. I wouldn't have had a problem if Skull won by a point. I know people are going to massacre me over it. I could care less. Ask me if I care. No. But do I have a problem with giving it to Canelo? No. Giving it to him 119? Yes. Giving it to him? No. But giving him no blame for what went on in that ring, I have a problem with that. But here's where I settle. The reason I have no problem giving it to Canelo at the end, even though I thought it was close and the other guy could have even possibly won, technically, by performing the way he did, that being Skull, not doing more, like my son said from the beginning. He's got to do more. He fought his fight, being safety first, surviving, all that stuff. And he picked spots. He counterpunched. He ran a lot. He did all that stuff. But when he did have chances on the outside, when he did make Canelo reach, when he did make Canelo, miss, when he did make Canelo stand there not doing anything, he should have done more. So he lost the right to complain. He might have won the fight, but you know what? In my book, being in this business 50 years, even if he did, he lost the right to complain about it by the way he behaved, by what he didn't do.
I couldn't agree more. Rashawn Haynes asking, did Canelo have an off night or did he take the night off?
If you want to be a Canelo on the side of Canelo and want to be favorable and nice to Canelo, if you want to do that, you say he had an off night. He looked sleepy. Hey, look, same thing for the other guy, but he looked sleepy. They were fighting 6 a.m. That's a little unusual for a fighter to be fighting 6 a.m. instead of sleeping or doing road work or drinking eggs. But he so if you want to say he had an off night, did he behave like that? Yeah. But you could also say, he's getting older. I don't think you'd be way out of line. Maybe he's getting older. You could also say that maybe he's made too much money. He deserves all the money he's made. But what I mean by that is he's got too comfortable where he didn't fight with fire, where he didn't fight with urgency. I would leave the fans with this question. I'm going to leave a question to you guys. If this is 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when his bank account wasn't as big, right? Same scenario, same style fighter, same stinker in front of you, running all over the freaking place, not taking chances. If he's at a place where his bank account's not quite as secure, does he fight differently? Does he go after Skull a little more? Go ahead, fans. Be honest. Be honest with yourselves. I answer that question. I think I know the answer. I think you know the answer. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And the thing I wanted to say, we talk about sometimes a fighter, not the best action or performance, but it doesn't matter. You get the win, you move on to the next one. As Al Davis would always say, just win, baby. This felt different for some of these guys. For Devin Haney in particular, of the damage maybe done to his marketability. Do you think it is a just win and move on? Or was this a little more to it?
I think there's more to it. I think I asked the question, anyone should ask this question. Devin Haney going into this fight, or for this time, year, whatever it's been, after the terrible beating that he took in his last fight with Ryan Garcia, I asked the question that needed to be asked: will he recover from it? Has he recovered from it, physically and psychologically? Sometimes fighters, undefeated fighters, champion fighters, any fighter, but fighters, especially that have never lost, sometimes when they take a beating that bad, they never are the same, physically or mentally, and mentally maybe more importantly. He wasn't the same. Now, granted, the process, if you're going to get better and you're going to get over that, you need a fight or two to get your confidence back, to get rid of the ghosts out of the attic, to exercise those ghosts. You do. That is the formula. That's the medicine. So you could go that way. Two ways you can go, in all fairness. You could say he's done. He's shot. He'll never be the same. And I'm going to go the latter. He needed a fight and maybe one more to regain what he lost in that last fight. Bang, done, move.
Yeah, next one. Got a viewers asking about Dana White entering. Do you think with Dana White entering, these fighters are going to show more in competing than maybe we saw this weekend? What do you think just about Dana overall coming into boxing?
They're going to have no choice. You guys haven't watched something called the UFC? You didn't watch Bo Nickel last night? Undefeated superstar, prodigy, wrestling prodigy, 7-0, 8-0, whatever he was. He's going into this fight. He's going to be protected, right? Yeah, of course. He's going to be the next superstar, right? He's going to be given an easy touch, right? No, wrong. You're in the UFC. You're in there. Dana White calls the shots. There's one thing, and there's one thing only. Nobody gets a free lunch. With Dana White in the UFC, everyone gets tested. Everyone gets thrown in the deep end. Everyone, because he cares more about the brand than he cares about a fighter's record or one single fighter becoming a star. He cares about the brand of his business, and that's why the brand of his business is worth $22 billion or whatever the frick it's worth at this point, which is just craziness. So at the end of the day, Dana White, you better get ready. You know what I mean? You know that old saying? What do they say? You better bring your jock strap, whatever it is. Yeah. You know what do they say in your business, bud? You better buckle up your chin strap. You better buckle up that chin strap. You're getting hit. You're going into a league now that's run by Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White at the reins. Buckle up. Buckle up. You got a seatbelt? Put it on. You got a head guard? Put it on, because you are going to be put in.
A lot of the viewers commenting, with the Riyadh season fighters, they're getting paid so well and spoiled and maybe fat and full that they're losing some of the hunger. Like you've said before, sleeping in the silk sheets.
Can't argue.
Some of the performances are going down after receiving the money. With that being said, I know styles make fights, and Saturday was different. But going back to Friday, the cars coming into the ring in the cars, Ryan Garcia in the Batmobile, all of the guys entering in the cars.
Little absurd, a little bit too cushiony, a little bit too eliteness, a little too comfortable, a little too spoiled. a little too ridiculous. A little too ridiculous. So I mean, like, you know what? I mean, it's almost like you're getting driven there. You should walk there. You're getting driven there. It's like it almost everyone likes to lie to themselves a little bit. It's human nature. If you got to control it, but a little bit, it gets away sometimes. And it's like, hey, you know what? I got nothing to worry about. I'm being driven here. You know what I mean? I'm being driven here in a Batmobile and this and that. I got no. No, you do have something to worry about. You always have something. Not only the danger in the ring, but your legacy. About, but when you're driven there, when you have that kind of opulence, when you have, all those kind of extras, those kind of indulgences that normally are not part of a fighter's, what a fighter gets, you can kind of forget what you're there to do, that you're still there to be hungry. You're still there to go and seek and destroy. You're still there to hunt. I mean, how do you hunt? How do you behave like a lion, like a predator, when you don't have to stalk your prey? You've been driven to your prey. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, and what we're seeing now with the fighters just warming up, getting loose, moving, right? Motion relieves tension, as you said many times. And we're watching guys just sitting there crammed up minutes before the biggest fights of their life. With that being said,
I hope the people appreciate. I know that I shouldn't do this, but you know what? Again, ask me if I care. Hello? Oh, no, I don't care. You guys, I hope you appreciate that I have somebody with me, which I haven't always had. I have someone with me who actually knows the sport. I kind of appreciate that. Just a little bit. Besides the fact that he has my name and that he's, he's better looking than me. That's the next question, please.
Yeah, but let's start switching over to this main event here. And I appreciate you, bud, in doing this again 3 nights in a row. Inoue, Cardenas. Inoue is minus 7,500. Cardenas plus 1,600. Will the fight go the distance? No, minus 900. Yes, plus 500. Over under 6.5 rounds. Over plus 105. Under minus 135. That's 6.5 rounds. Anything stand out?
Yeah.
Inoue by decision plus 550. Doesn't sound like you think it's going the distance.
I like him by knockout. I like Inoue by knockout. I'm not laying those crazy numbers no matter what. I also like the under because I don't want to lay 900 or whatever you just told me for a knockout. Whatever you told me it was for a knockout. I don't want to go minus 900. I like the knockout. If the best comeback I can get odds-wise without risking too much is the 130 to take the under, I'll do that. But I don't want to lay an exorbitant number just for the knockout. I like it in a way to stop him. I could see it in 4 or 5. I could see it within 6 rounds. I'm going to pick number 5. I'll say the 5th round. Put a little play on number 5. We're playing roulette here. Put a 5. Put a 5. Put a 5. Put a 5. Red 5. Red 5. I think 5's red. I'm not sure.
It is.
But yeah. So put a little something on the 5th round for some reason. Just a little something. See what odds you get back for fun. Just for fun.
5th round plus 700 in a way.
Just for fun. But at the end of the day, in a way for me, all the top guys have talent. Inoue has talent. He can punch. He's got good hand speed, good footwork, good technique. All of that package. He's got all of that. Where Inoue separates himself is where Crawford and Usyk and those kind of rarefied fighters separate himself. I'm not forgetting Bam Rodriguez. He's moving up there too. I want to see him a little longer with some more opposition. But he beat some top guys that were a little older. What separates a guy like Inaway is with his talent, what he does with it, how he does it. He adds the intangibles. Yeah, he's got the speed. Yeah, he's got the power. But he's also got the eyes. He's also got the timing. He's also got, of course, the reflexes, but he's also got just again, that X factor, that intangible, where he just has the ability. He has the ability to see things that other people don't see. He can see in the dark, where it's dark for people, in that place where you're in there with all the chaos and all the stuff going on and all the pressure and all the fog that could be part of the pressure and part of that kind of atmosphere in the ring. He's able to see through all of that and have almost like night goggles on, like those infrared goggles, where he can see things not only that other people don't see, but just before they can see it. He sees the guy's about to do something, he beats him to the mark. And he's got the intestinal fortitude. He's got the character of a champion, that if you do hurt him, after he was fighting like a champion, he will now behave like a champion. So that's why I pick him in a lot of these matchups, even if you put him in there with star material. As far as this, and you've already seen him, dude, with really good fighters, like Fulton, fighters like that, really good technical, physically talented, mentally talented fighters. And you've seen him tested when he did get dropped. So I'm going to say he's in there with a guy in Vasquez that is not a bad fighter. He can box a little bit. He likes to engage. That's the problem.
Cardenas.
Yeah, Cardenas. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Espinosa. I'm sorry. Cardenas can box a little bit. He likes to also engage. He's got a heart. That's where he's going to have a problem. At some point, he's going to engage. And he likes to do the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll that Floyd Mayweather made made familiar. And maybe, for the people that didn't see it by other fighters, where Floyd really did make it, where you understood what it looked like and what the purpose was. It was to sometimes drop his left hand, draw a lead right hand, and then roll his shoulder back. I'm illustrating if you can watch. Roll his shoulder back and let it bounce off the shoulder, make the right hand miss of the opponent, and then bang, come right back with his own right hand. He made that a little bit, famous. Cardenas tries to do it. All I can tell you is he doesn't do it like Floyd, okay? Leave it at that. He's not as good at it as Floyd is. He's a poorer man's version of it. I'm not knocking him, but he's a poor man. If he tries to do that with Inaway, and I think he might because he's done it throughout his career, he's going to have an extra problem that more than he already has. Because in a way, two reasons. One, in a way, when he does this, when he pulls that shoulder back and he fades out on you, in a way, won't chase upstairs. In a way, will take what's there and expose his left side of his body, the right hand for Inaway, to the body of Cardenas. He'll go to the body, and he's a great body puncher. He's a great finisher. He's a great everything. So at the end of the day, when Cardenas does get to the point that he's not on the outside trying to box and counter, when he does get to the point where he might get inside and try the shoulder roll, I think that's when the night's going to start to maybe get possibly towards the end, where the lights are going to start to dim a little bit. So I would look for that. And also another thing Inoue can do, if he rolls and he invites that right hand, he stands straight up while he's rolling. Well, Inoue's got the smarts to go with everything else, where he'll double the right hand up. He'll throw the first right hand, as a throwaway, just to have him in that position. And then he'll throw the second right hand, as the cleanup punch, as the punch that he intends to really land. And he'll land it because he's also accurate with his punches. He doesn't waste a lot. So at the end of the day, yeah, I agree with the odds, making Inaway such a prohibitive favorite. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Inaway has been on the floor, so it's not like he can't be hurt. It's not like he can't be, affected. But at the end of the day, he's pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good. And like I said at the opening of this show, we need the monster. Boxing needs the monster to bring boxing back on this very dull weekend. And Espinosa started it. Espinosa kind of opened the door for it. And now I think that Inaway will walk in and close the door.
That's a good setup. That was a very good shoulder roll. I like your technique. It was a little better than Ryan Garcia's shoulder roll on Friday night. The one thing stands out to me, I'm looking at Inoue.
Ryan Garcia's shoulder roll was more like an egg roll or a shrimp roll. I mean, it was absurd.
That's spring roll.
Spring roll. You love spring rolls with the duck sauce. I know that, but I remember. I don't want to make fun of anyone, and definitely not of any fighter who has the guts to get in the ring and do this for a living. They are special. But they are. But they didn't. They deserve. They get the money. They get the money. They get the praise when they do good. They also deserve some of the accountability and some of the hits from the fans. The fans have the right, because the fans pay. They're paid for the pay-per-view. They're paid for the ticket. They have the right to voice their opinion when they're not happy. And I think the fans have spoken. They were not happy. I think they're going to be happy tonight.
Yeah.
And I hope they're out there with us right now. But I hope they're out there with us watching right now, joining. I know there's a lot of comments. I hope we satisfied them by answering their questions. And I think that's part of the uniqueness of us doing these live streaming, besides me being back in the seat again, where you're going to get commentary. You're going to get, you're going to get the breakdowns, the analysis. You're going to get trying to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. You're going to get all that stuff. But you're also going to have, during the dead spots, you're going to have conversation. You're going to have a chance, like I said last night, where it's like just a couple guys in a bar talking boxing, talking something they love, or in a restaurant, sitting down and talking, just talking, talking something that everyone here has a passion for. And that's cool. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about what you've said in the past, Inaway, as I'm watching him warming up a couple minutes ago, looking into his eyes. You have said he does have two different sides to him, right? That Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You can see that side as the fight is getting closer, coming out in his eyes right now. I can, at least.
No, he's a schoolboy. He's a schoolboy. He's Clark Kent. He's got the glasses now. He's got everything. Before the fight, in the interviews, he's a schoolboy. He's a sweetheart. He's like my good Italian friends, the old timers, would say. He's a piece of bread, which is a nice compliment. He's great. But man, oh man, when he gets in front of you, standing there before the bell rings, he is not your friend. He is not a guy that you want in front of you. He has become something else. he is suddenly that, as I like to use that phrase, it all of a sudden becomes the moment where the devil has knocked at the door and he's right there in front of you. I mean, he's what Duran was with those cold, dead eyes when Duran was Duran, when he was lightweight champ, what Sonny Liston was when he was heavyweight champ, what George Foreman was in the days that, you know, he was George Foreman. I mean, he's that, he is that, he's, man, he's scary.
Yeah, he is. And he's got a nice sweat going right now. Talk about sometimes those fighters being in the car the other night being maybe a little dry. You got a nice little sweat going. This is the weekend of father-son trainer-fighter combos, right? We had Haney, we had Barbosa, we had Teofimo Lopez, Inoue as well, trained by his dad.
Now, what do you look for first here? I mean, look, they're going to feel each other out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. All right. I look for what I usually look for 90%, 80% with fighters, and especially solid fighters technically, but I look for the jab. Inaway has an accurate, hard, straight jab. He doesn't use it in overabundance, but he uses it efficiently and effectively, and he uses it at the right time. And he uses it for two reasons. He uses it to close a gap and to stabilize his opponent, to find his opponent, to just keep his opponent where he wants, you know, to measure his opponent also. He can also use it to set traps where he'll jab and take a little step back and invite you in and see if he can get you biting a little bit, where you get a little reckless. He's loosened up. It looks, see, whenever I see a fighter do what Inoue just did, shaking his hands out, it tells me he's still trying to get a little loose. But
he's so explosive.
Yeah, and he's got a little Manny Pacquiao to him, and I'll tell you what I mean. I mean, obviously the obvious, you know, the quick hands, the power. Manny had that, but also the quick feet, where he can close to what you said, but explosive. For me, I took it from what you said, that he's explosive, that he can close in on you so quickly. He can bring it quick. He can close that gap at the blink of an eye. And he's dangerous. And he's kind of dangerous in a way that, you know, when you're in a car, bud, and I'm always telling you guys, you know, always drive careful. I'm always bothering you and your sister and everybody like you're still kids. You know, be careful, don't take none for granted. You're coming out of a crossway. You're coming out of a turn. You're coming off a street, and you look, and there's nothing coming. And then you turn, you take your time, and all of a sudden, as you turn, the car's right there. There was a car coming that came faster than you thought it was going to come, and it came right up. That's Inaway. That's Inaway. Like, you take a peek at him, like you might throw a little slow jab, say, "Oh, I got time. Look where he is. He's back there." And all of a sudden, he's right on you. All of a sudden, he's like that car. Like, he closes so quick, and you say, "Oh my God, how did he get here so fast? I thought he was back there." That's Inaway. That's one of the things he brings. And it's not fun when you're fighting him to have to deal with that. Watch how quick he's going to be on this guy. If this guy leaves, if Cardenas leaves any opening with a slow jab, with a slow reaction, a slow step back in front, a slow reach in, anything, Inaway he'll shoot into that gap. I see what he's trying to do now. He's trying to blind them with the jab. I talked about the jab. He's trying to blind them with the jab and then shoot the right hand right behind simultaneously down the middle, split the guard, because Cardenas not moving his head a lot. He's got those earmuffs on, and you can split his guard.
You got some good viewer with us, but we had one, Tony Kart Racer, just said exactly what you said about the jab. And Lex was saying it seems like Inaway just downloaded all the data that he needed that round.
Yeah, that's the bad news. That's the bad news for Mr. Cardenas. He probably did do that. And he's seen what he likes, and he's probably going to go look and try it out. But again, I see what the fan sees. That jab blind him, and then the right hand split the guard right behind. And I see one other thing he hasn't shown, but I see it. If I see it, I think he sees it. I see the opening when he throws that jab and right hand. Even if it doesn't hurt Cardenas, it could be two throwaway punches where it freezes him to do what? For Inoue to slip to his left and throw a left hook to the liver. Jab right hand, just to pose him, just to put him in position where he can hit him. See what he's looking for, split the guard, he did it. Now, why did he not hurt him? Because Cardenas is tough, he's game, he's got a good chin, and he saw the punch coming. Now, if he throws that right hand right behind the jab, like George Foreman did, if he throws that right hand right behind the jab, it'll knock him out because he won't see it. He won't have time to get ready, to register in his brain there's a punch coming. And I say again, I'm looking for a setup. Good fighters throw away punches sometimes to set you up with a big punch. Jab right hand, freeze him, because this guy can be frozen because he puts the earmuffs on. He does that peekaboo without moving his head. So you can freeze him. I would freeze him with the jab and right hand, slip to the left, and hit him with the left hook to the body.
Good body work by Cardenas. A little bit here this round. He's got some quick hands.
Yeah, and he's not intimidated. You know, he's out there giving himself a chance. But again, when you cover up this way, I mean, you start to look like a heavy bag for a second. When you cover, and believe me, Inaway sees a heavy bag. When you cover up like that, it's only a matter of time. You're giving him something. You say, look, I'm right here. I'm stationary. Look, I'm right here. It's only a matter of time before Inaway's going to take what you're giving him. And what's that? It's going to be the body. It's going to be the body around those elbows because the body's right there. You know, again, when Inaway sees him covered up, it's kind of like those cartoons. Remember those cartoons where the wolf was hunting I forget what it was.
With the Roadrunner?
Yeah. And it saw in its mind kind of like a basted turkey in the oven. You know what I mean? Like what it could eat. I kind of think Inaway kind of sees a cooked meal when he sees a guy covered up. And you can see Inaway's getting closer. He's getting really close to getting it. Oh, he dropped him. He got careless.
I was just going to say, was literally about to say, you better watch out for that left hook. And this Cardenas, he's got some fast hands.
Well, not only fast and concise,
wow,
and sharp and power, and not wasted. Real compact left hook, I think it was. But he threw it at the right time. There was a method to his madness, I guess. He was covering up. He was defending. He was letting Inaway get maybe a little ahead of himself, maybe a little, a little comfortable, thinking he's not throwing back, and get a little bit careless. And then Inaway went to throw again, figuring, okay, this guy's only blocking, and he unleashed a real good counter left hook as Inaway was looking to throw. I haven't seen it yet, but I think that he caught him in between throwing. Here it is. He's covering up. Now Inaway gets careless. He comes in throwing. Boom. Figures, okay, I'm going to follow him. He had his right hand down. He started to come in, forgot about defense. Bang! A little trap. Nice little trap by him. A little step back and a left hand compact, short, really nice, powerful, short left hook, catching the monster with his right hand down, coming in, forgetting about defense, just coming in thinking, okay, I've been catching this guy. I've been controlling him. He's defensive. He's going to let me walk in. He got a little careless. He assumed a little. You're always never supposed to, something with the eye there. I don't know if it was a headbutt. No cut. The referee's saying, watch your heads. No cuts.
As you said before this fight, Inoue has been here before. He's picked himself up off the canvas before. He's down to minus 400 after that, but opened up minus 7,500 favorite, only minus 400 now.
Yeah, what do we know? We know he can be hurt. We said that. He's human. He's been hurt. He's been dropped before. But we also know how he behaves when he's dropped. He behaves like a champion. And we don't expect anything else from him right here, except that. But again, we found out now, look at that left hook he's looking for. He throws a compact left hook, does Cardenas, and he covers up. There's a method to his madness. He covers up. Sometimes he stays there a little long, but he's not getting hit clean. He's smart. He's in the eye of the storm. He's not getting hit really clean. I think he might get hit clean if Inaway starts pinpointing shots while he's covered up to the body and picking shots. I think the capability of catching him clean is there, but there is a method to what he's doing. He's covered up. He's inching his way in. He's not reaching. He's not leaving himself open or vulnerable, making mistakes. He's bringing his feet. He's blocking mostly everything. And he's just waiting for the right spot. Either going to catch Inaway stepping out. That was a nice body shot. He's either going to catch Inaway stepping out or coming in after him a little reckless. And he tried it again. He tried to catch Inaway coming in with the right hand that time. And I'll tell you one thing, he can punch. His punches are solid.
Backed him up in it.
Yeah, they're solid. And Inaway knows he can punch.
Inaway's in a real fight here.
He's in a real fight. I mean, this is making up for the Friday and Saturday non-fights. Inaway caught him a little right hand there. But Inaway, I tell you, he knows the guy can punch. He knows that he better not stay there too long. He better move after he punches. He better move his head after he punches. Man, this is a hell of a good fight.
This Cardenas has got something to him.
Yeah, you know what he's got to him? He's compact. He has an identity. There's 3 levels of defense. 3 ways to go about defense. Use your legs, move your head, or block. He blocks. He blocks. He feels good with it. He's comfortable with it. It's his identity. He gets into position. His feet are under him. He knows he can punch. He gets into position where he's not going to leave himself open. He throws, like I said earlier, short, compact punches, and he throws every damn punch he throws with bad intentions. He doesn't throw anything as a setup punch. Or as a giveaway punch, or as a light punch. He throws every punch he throws to knock you out.
Yeah, Melkar just said that. He's swinging hard. You're right. He does throw everything with bad intentions.
The right hand is down. He's coming in, thinking he's going to throw a right hand, and he gets beat to the punch. He gets timed, and he gets dropped.
There was 2 things that caught my attention before this fight started, but when Cardenas was in the corner getting introduced, I've never seen Cardenas fight before. So this is my first exposure. I only saw the lines. I know what Inaway is. He had the manager, Sampson, with him in the corner, who used to be with Sergio Martinez. He has Fundora's sister as well. He has an eye for talent, that guy. When I see him in somebody's corner, I take note, and he has a solid trainer with him. He's got Joel Diaz in his corner tonight.
No, you're right. Both those points with the manager, the picker of talent, the scouter of talent, he does get himself with the right guys. And as you just said, he's got the right trainer, good trainer. There's a right hand.
The viewers think Inaway should throw the uppercut, but Tipsy just said that as well. What do you think?
Yes, and do it right, and do it with caution. I'll tell you why. this guy throws a hell of a counter left hook. It's short, it's sweet, and it's hard. If you give up that right uppercut where you show it, where you drop it a little bit, like Buster Douglas did with Holyfield, if you show it, you're going to expose yourself to a left hook and get dropped again, maybe. So, yeah, but you better do it right.
I know it's too early, and we're only in the fourth round, but it just makes you think what you've said in the past. One of the limitations to Inoue eventually is going to be his size and trying to move up too much. You're starting 100%. To see that a little bit tonight.
Like you would worry with Lomachenko when he moved up to his third weight class. Like you knew, like he can't go anymore. Like the body can only go, so many.
Right.
Everyone is human, but I think the jab of Inoue is important to keep Cardenas at a certain distance. To keep him buttoned up, to keep him covered up. That jab is important, and to set up, to blind them a little bit.
That was a nice double left hook by Inoue.
Yeah, I think if he gets to him, it's going to be with an uppercut or a straight right hand down the middle behind the jab or a body shot. That was a nice kind of left hook.
Beautiful.
Inoue,
I think it might be the Mickey Ward punch, but I think it's coming.
Where you tap him upstairs and then go downstairs with the left hook. You tap him upstairs to get his arm to go up. And then before he can get it down, the elbow down, you bring it downstairs. Mickey Ward had a PhD with that.
Big stuff right here by Inoue.
Here's what makes Inoue special.
Ooh, he's hurt.
And he's a good finisher.
Now the uppercut, maybe. Body uppercut.
Jab is important too, but yeah. This is what makes him such a force. He was hurt. He comes back. He knows what he's got to do.
He's a real fighter, obviously. The way he reacts.
Never loses belief. Takes it in stride, corrects what he has to do. And I'll tell you what he corrected. He gained respect. He said, okay, I can't walk after this guy assuming. I can't just walk in. I got to be paying attention, my P's and Q's. I got to cross my T's, stop my I. Got a little reckless. I took for granted that the guy would cover up and give me a chance to keep throwing, covered up. I didn't expect him to come out of that cover with the counter punch. But now he's been forewarned. And now if you notice, he's not throwing three. He's not walking in afterwards so easily. He's not throwing 3 or 4. He's throwing 1 or 2, making sure that he's taking care of defense, making sure that if something's coming back, he makes it miss, and then he comes back again. He's making sure that he's putting the defense with the offense, that he's not forgetting. He's not taking for granted. He hasn't been tricked. He got tricked one round, that when this guy covers up, he's giving you plenty of time to get your punches off because he's not going to be busy. He's not going to be dangerous. He's going to give you time. He's not going to get tricked by that anymore. He got tricked by it once, where this guy lulled him to sleep by covering up, and then all of a sudden sneaking in a counter. Now what's he doing now? He's using his jab, and he's fighting on his terms. He ain't going to stay there with too many, where the guy could come back with a counter. He's smart. He's picking spots. See that? A little jab, a little step back, make a miss, then come back with the other punches. Not too many punches in a row. Too many in a row, he might get counted. 1 or 2, let him miss, and then put a few together. That's what he's doing, and he's using that jab as I was thinking that he would do and he should do. Now I'd like to see him get an angle. The guy is right in front of him, a little flat-footed. He covers up. I'd like to see him use his feet to get an angle where he can have a chance to hit Cardenas on the side where Cardenas couldn't see it coming and where Cardenas wouldn't be able to answer. I'd like to see a little step to the side. That's the only dimension I haven't seen Inaway show me yet. It's a little step. He steps out and in, but I haven't seen the step to the side. I'd like to add that. But again, he is not getting reckless or drunk with his offense. One punch, 2 punches, little defense, make him miss. All right, now I'll come back. I'm not going to walk into a counter. Even there, when he jabbed, he moved his head, he missed the counter with the right hand. Look at that. He's in control now. He's in control of the rhythm of the fight. He is the guy in the orchestra with those sticks that is running the orchestra. That's telling the, he rode with that right hand. See the way he rode with that right hand? He turned with it like Duran used to do, to take the pop off of it. But he really is. He's like the guy in the orchestra who's running the string section. He's running the horn section. He's telling everyone when to do it. He throws a punch, he makes a mess. Then he comes back. Then he throws another punch. Then he makes something else mess. Then he comes back.
Yeah, talking about the orchestra and music, what I see from Cardenas, but is he does throw everything so hard, like you said, with bad intentions, but
everything.
He's missing a beat on the rhythm. It's not boom, boom, boom. It's a little delay, right?
No, but you're right. But part of that is because of Inoue. Inoue's not staying there for them to catch the beat. Inoue's smart. Inoue's not staying there for 2 or 3. Inoue's throwing 1 or 2 moves and then coming back. Inoue is not letting them get the beat. He's keeping them out of rhythm. Inoue is making sure that he is 1 beat behind them. That was a good pickup by you, bud. That's on the button, actually. Inoue is, as you watch the next round, or with the replays, you're going to see what you're talking about. That Inoue is just 1 beat ahead of him. Like here, pop, pop. Then he moves, and then the other guy, pop, just a little late. Yeah. Where his rhythm is he's just a step behind Inoue. And if you're a step behind, basically, you might as well be 10 steps behind, because that means you're out of rhythm. He's in rhythm, and he's got you just a little out of sync. That's what rhythm's all about. That you're hitting on the notes just right, and the other guy is just a little off.
Last round, they showed an unofficial scorecard by the writer, and he had Cardenas up 1 point, but 2 big rounds in a row by Inoue. This fight is definitely starting to change now back into his favor.
Yeah, listen, you can say it now. Inoue only loses this fight if he gets dropped or knocked out. He's not getting outpointed. That's not the style of Cardenas. His style is to not waste anything, to only throw when he thinks he can land, to throw punches with bad intentions, hard punches, accurate punches, well-placed punches, smart punches, but to only throw them when he thinks it's the right time to throw them. He doesn't use the jab much. He is not, and of course he jabbed right there, he is not going to outwork Inoue. His plan is to hurt him, to win the fight. He's not going to outwork him. His method is to look and position himself every round to throw and land a big punch. And again, he doesn't waste much, because his intentions are to make anything he throws count, to be in the right position to throw it.
We said in the 4th round, Inaway was only minus 400. He's minus 10,000 now, and he's got Cardenas hurt.
Yeah, he does. And this is where he's a good finisher. He's got the eyes to pick the right punch at the right time, where I think an uppercut might make sense, and a body punch. That was the body.
There it is, left hook. That hurt him, that left hook.
Yeah, I think for me right now, I'm going to body and uppercuts. In close, at least. Body and uppercuts.
There's the body.
Inaway is
some
mixing,
patience.
and he's still making sure he's paying attention to the defense. You had your one chance to catch him. You got his respect. You got Inaway's attention. You made him a believer. He's not gonna get reckless. See,
Cardenas biting down a little bit, showing a chin too.
He is. It's terrific.
Thank goodness for this fight.
The thing that I always talk about, one of the things that separates Inoue, from other really good fighters, obviously all his special traits, but this that he's going to go and try to get you. He ain't going to be satisfied just to win a decision. If he can get you, even if it means take a little risk, if he can get you, he's got that Sugar Ray Leonard dog in him. If he can get you, he's got that junkyard dog, bud. He's got what the great ones got. The great ones got. Where you love to watch them because of that entertainment value. That, yeah, he can beat you out boxing you. Yeah, he can beat you, doing where he gets ahead and then, he plays it a little safe. But even when he's ahead, if he can get to you, he's going to get to you because that is how he thinks. That's how he lives. That if I can get this guy out, I'm going to try to do it good. I'm going to try to do it responsibly. I'm going to do it the way I should do, but I'm going to do it. I ain't going to play it safe. I'm not going to be satisfied with just winning the fight. I want to win the way I want to win. I want to get to the guy. That's what you love about Inaway. And there's fighters out there that, quite frankly, they're terrific. They're terrific. And they got their own talents. And they got their own abilities. But not everyone has the makeup, the mental makeup, the character, whatever you want to call it, where they have that junkyard dog mentality that Sugar Ray Leonard had, where, yeah, I got all the things other guys have, but I also have, I have like a calling. I have like, I have something where I can't ignore it, where I have a responsibility to get to the guy if I can get to him. They fight with that mentality. And that's what makes them not only special, and it also makes it where you can catch them sometimes, but that's what you love about them. They're willing to take that risk to be great, to be great, to be great. And that's why you put them on the top of your list as fighters of not only being sound in all the areas you have to be sound, but just as fighters you want to watch. You want to watch. And you want to watch Inaway. Look, I mean, he's still going after the guy. This guy's still dangerous. This guy's got a lot of heart, Cardenas. A lot of heart. He's trying to do the shoulder roll, actually, now. He actually tried to do the shoulder roll now. Wow.
Yeah, slight adjustment. I don't know. Is he making it out of this round?
Minute 30 left. I'm going to say no.
I don't know.
I'm going to say no. You ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer.
Yeah, he's evaporating right now.
If I'm looking for a certain punch, it's the body punch.
Yeah.
But it might not only be the left hook to the liver. It might be a right uppercut or a left hand in the middle of the body. One of the things that made Mickey Ward great, if he couldn't catch you in the liver, like the elbow was there, if he couldn't catch you there with the body punch because your elbow was there, he would adjust the trajectory of the left hook to go inside the elbow, more towards the middle of the body, kind of like an uppercut hook. I think that in a way, could you see how that got blocked? Bud? You see how that hook got blocked by Cardenas? I think that if in a way could throw that again, it got blocked. If he could throw that left hook as a left uppercut to the body, inside the elbow, towards the middle of the body, he might catch him. And right now, the right hand's going to be there. There it is. Ooh, and you know why the right hand's there? You know why it's there, bud? Right, because he's dropping the left hand to protect the body. Yeah, he's not getting out of this round. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
Well, he's got 20 seconds here.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting out. And the reason he threw that right hand, bud, and I knew he was going to throw it, he's dropping the left hand to protect the body.
There it comes. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think he's still going to stop him. I don't care.
He's going to survive it.
Yeah, I guess so.
He survived it. Yeah. This kid, he's making me a fan, Cardenas. Like you said, unbelievable heart.
How can you not love this kid?
And he's not trying to survive. This kid is trying to win.
That's what makes you love him. He's not just surviving. He's still trying to win.
Yeah.
And you know what?
One of the viewers just said, Mezabar, he's still dangerous.
How often have the viewers right? How often have you seen the monster take breaths in a corner? Not every fight.
No.
What a game, guy. He's a 100% fighter. Now watch the right hand. The left hand's down to protect the body. Look. So he doubles it up. He triples it up. He quadruples it up. That's part of what makes him special. Look, it's down. Why hit him with one? I'll keep hitting him. Why throw the left hook? Because it's going to be blocked by the right hand. So normally I would throw one right hand. I'll throw two. I'll throw three. I'll throw four. If it ain't broke, it ain't fit. Don't fix it. If the left hand is down, I'm going to keep throwing the right hand till it's up. This is a fun night. This is a fun night with you and the fans. This is a night that we kept our word. We kept our promise. Look, I'm joking. We delivered. No, the fighters delivered. But I'm just saying, this is what we projected. This is what we asked for. This is what we hoped for. This is what we said boxing needed. They needed a night like this to make up for the last two nights. And they're getting it. We're getting it. We're all getting it. And we're all sharing it. And we're all enjoying it. And this is the last round, by the way. This is the last round. This is the last round, by the way. Yeah.
This referee gave him every chance he could. There's, he let it go. This kid, it's tough with the heart to stop it, but I think that's a good stoppage, no? He was taking a lot of big shots there.
No, 100%, but ref did a good job.
Our viewers were right on point. There was a lot of guys just saying this round is it. This is the last one. But as you just said,
we got smart views, and I always say the boxing fans are smart. And
some guys don't like the stoppage. I thought the stoppage was all right.
Listen, you know why it was all right? I get the fans. I get it. The guy's so game. He's been shown the ability to come back. He wasn't on the floor. I get it. But I'll tell you why you can't argue it. The punishment he'd been taking. He'd been taking punishment the last couple rounds where it got to another point, still early in a round, of course, very early, where he started early, taking what he was taking late in the last round. He picked up where he left off. He was taking accumulation of punishment early in the round after taking it a lot late in the last round, and the referee thought he did the right thing. And I understand it. That was
the other thing is, that could have been ruled a knockdown. The ropes held him up. If he rules that a knockdown, he gives him 8 seconds to recover. He might make it out of this round. Ropes can't hold you up.
You're right. You're 100% right. And again, give credit to the monster for being so smart where when he saw the left hand down of the Cardenas, blocking the body, he doubled up the right hand. See, the way he staggered there, that's what the referee, his legs.
Somebody's saying, but Gunner's boss, I don't know if this is accurate. He's telling us that Cardenas' corner told him this would be his last round if he didn't step it up.
Yeah.
So that kind of matches up maybe to the stoppage, like we're saying with the referee.
And that's a good corner. That's a corner that's smart. That's a corner that's realistic. That's a corner that understands boxing. That's a corner that's got a champion as the trainer, or a former champion as the trainer in the corner. And that comes from a champion family of nothing but fighters. And that's a corner that cares about their fighter.
Yeah, and Tipsy just said that good stoppage. He's too tough for his own good, Cardenas.
Yeah. No, I agree. And listen.
The monster.
I'm gonna say this. No matter what, there's always whatever you like. But everyone has their own likes and dislikes. Everyone has their own, what appeals to them. Everybody. All right, I understand that. But how do you not like this guy? No matter what, you like a defensive fighter, you like a guy, you like a pitcher in a baseball game that disarms the batter, or you like a guy that hits home runs, whatever your taste is, whatever it is. How do you not like this guy? He knows how to fight. He fights with technique. He fights with power. He fights with passion. He fights. He fights with all the talent in the world, and he fights with an urgency. He fights like he's like there's no money in the bank, and he's freaking he's gotta bring money home for the family to eat. I mean, that's how he fights. He fights like a guy who the cabinets at home are bad. We understand he's already made a lot of money, like a lot of the fighters did this weekend. A lot of the fighters that are at the top that deserve it. They can't make enough for me. They take a risk, let them make as much as they can. But this is a guy who has not lost his hunger. This is a guy that, again, he fights like he's got zero in the bank. Like his bank account is zero. He fights like a guy, again, that the refrigerator at home is empty. How do you not like this guy?
And on the other side, Cardenas, he made me a fan with the unbelievable heart he showed that you said. But we got our man here, and your main man, our man Pedro Martinez Fraga. He said Cardenas showed heart and power, but speed kills.
Yeah, well, Vegas, first of all, Mr. Martinez would know. Mr. Martinez Fraga would know. He's a friend. He's a friend of the podcast. He's a friend. He's a good man, and I don't hide anything. He's a friend of the family. He's a friend of mine. He's also a former pro fighter. He knows what he's watching. He knows what he's talking about. And you know what? That's an old phrase. That's an old phrase. That's a cliche phrase. But you know what? Sometimes they belong. Sometimes they're cliche for a reason, because they make sense. Yeah. The other guy's got power too, but he also had speed. And that was a big difference. That was a big separating factor in this. And I mean, how do you not like this guy? How do you not like Cardenas? If this was the UFC, he'd be getting a bonus right now.
They all deserve bonuses after this weekend. Give all four of the guys we just watched a bonus tonight.
Yeah, for making up what we saw, what the fans, quite frankly, had to tolerate, had to suffer through, in the last 2 days, what they put up with. And yeah, but he belongs, he deserves a bonus, Cardenas. But what he deserves is a title fight or a big money fight as soon as possible. Give him a rest. He took some punishment here. I always, as a trainer, I always say, wait. Let's not forget to pay attention to the body. Let's give him a rest. But give him another payday. Give him another moment. I can see this guy winning a title. I can see him winning a title. I can see why he gave Ford a tough fight. And that only speaks even louder to why I love Ford, to why I say Ford is such a good fighter.
No, Ray Ford fought the guy before, not Cardenas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cardenas had one loss, but his one loss came in 2017. This was his first loss in 8 years now. So he falls down to 26-2. And Inoue,
who was
30
his loss to? Who was his
27
loss
knockouts. His loss was to a fighter that I'm not familiar with,
and
a guy named Danny Flores in 2017.
All right. Well, it's a long time ago. I mean, you're talking 8 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Cardenas, he can fit in with a lot of fighters, and a lot of fighters won't want to put him on their dance card because there's 2 reasons why. I know 3. 1, he can punch. 2, he's got a lot of heart. And 3, he knows when to throw. He knows what he's doing. Like I said, he doesn't waste anything. He looks to get in position to do one thing, to freaking put your lights out.
Alan W. just said exactly what you said. He said what we've been saying. Cardenas impressed him. He said he won a new fan, or he made him a new fan, and looks forward to his future fights. That was Alan W. Thank you, Alan. What's next, bud? I mean, in a way, he's going to fight MJ next, right? They just announced that. He's going to fight him at this same weight class, 122 pounds. It's going to be in September, it sounds like. And then after that, if he's successful, the 126 move up.
Who's he going to fight next?
He's going to fight MJ next. I say MJ because his name is Murajan Akhmadaliyev. That's
Okay,
who he'll be
MJ.
fighting next.
No, MJ.
MJ, right? You like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. After that, maybe 126 pounds. We just saw the guy earlier today, Espinosa. We talked
I
very
knew it
highly
wasn't
of.
Michael Jordan. I knew that much. I knew that much because the weight class. Go ahead.
What's the one for you? I mean, you talked about it before. Is that still the one? Is it not the move up? Is it Juko Nakatani moving up instead from
Jugo,
118?
listen. Besides everything else that I've listed as a myriad of things that Inoue has to make him special, he also has great pride. And he also has a sense with that great pride, the sense of leaving a legacy and a sense of responsibility to test himself. You know, he doesn't have to at this point, but I really believe I know the character of this guy, that what makes him so special inside, that he does feel like the greats did. Sugar Ray Leonard felt that way. All the greats do. Sugar Ray Robinson going back, all the greats, where they have a response. Joe Louis, they have a response. Joe Louis didn't think he was going to be, he was champion until he beat Schmeling, who had knocked him out before he won the title. And they could have ignored him. They could have avoided. He said, no, I'm not champion until I face this guy who knocked me out. Then I'll be champ. He, in a way, really does have a sense of responsibility, I believe, to find out how great he can be, to test himself to really to the utmost, to go as far as he can to test himself. And because of that, I think, and also national pride, because it would be an unbelievable fight in Japan to fight how do you pronounce his name?
NJ?
No, to fight the Japanese tremendous undefeated
Oh, yeah,
champion.
Junto Nakatani. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nakatani. I think that's a very dangerous fight. But I think that's a fight that, unless the apple cart gets upset with one of them losing, that is a mega fight. And it's a mega fight in one place. Just like Joshua and, Fury would still be a mega fight only in one place, in England. That's Eubank and Ben, mega fight, unbelievable fight, but in one place where it was a mega fight in England. Inoue and Nakatani, mega fight in Japan, mega fight in the Dome over there. And I'd love to see that fight. I'm not saying I don't want to see some other fights, action fights before that. I want to see anybody with Inoue, but somebody good, because otherwise it's a waste of time. Somebody that brings the best out in this great fighter. I want to see anybody, anyone. I want to see Nick Ball. That would be a ball of fire. No matter how long it lasted, be a ball of fire. Any of those fights. But I want to see Nakatani, because that, for me, will test Inoue in a way that people like Inoue want to be tested. Because the style and talent of Nakatani could be, if there is kryptonite for this monster, this guy that sometimes does fly around like he's got a cape on him with an S, even though he's been dropped, so what? He gets up and he does what he has to do. If there was a kryptonite, it could be the style of Nakatani, to control the outside, to fight long, to fight tall, to have power, to have technique, to have talent, to have never lost, to have belief that he can't be beat, and to have the pride to represent Japan against another fellow Japanese fighter, to fight for pride, to fight, to see who's the best in that country, besides being the best in the world at that weight class. That fight has all the markings to me of like back in the day of Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard, because of the style matchup, because of everything, That's got the makeup of Ali Frazier against the styles, the talent. There's
Yeah, I'm with you, bud.
anything with Inaway is something that I sign up for.
No question. Williams Wrestling said a lot of comments coming in. Tim Bradley very biased against Inaway. We have no idea what was said tonight, guys. We didn't listen to the commentary. We have it muted. Alan W said he thinks Inaway tops out at 126 pounds. He's 32 years old. Let's say he has 3 years left, counting Junto. Name 2 more mega fights. Well, you just named a few, right? Nick Ball would be one.
Yeah, Nakatani, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the one.
How about Espinosa?
That's the most dangerous fight. I would love to see Espinosa, two fighters to leave it in the ring, 2 fighters to fight with nothing but pride and heart, expertise, talent. They can punch. They go after it. They're not satisfied with just a win, as they both exhibited tonight. They're going to get you if you can be gotten to. They feel responsibility to do more than just win easily. They want to get to you if they can. I would love to see that be a tough fight for Inaway. I mean, with the height, with the reach,
Espinosa, yeah.
Of Espinosa and the power of Inaway having to close the gap and get close, the risk of what he could take while he was closing that gap. But if anyone knows how to close a gap, it's Inaway. And if he gets in there and closes that gap, oh boy, with a tall man in front of him who sometimes stands up straight, he knows what to do. So that would be a box of dynamite. That would be a box of dynamite with a bow on it. It really would be. And I didn't hear what you said about the comments, but I just heard the name of one of my favorite fighters, favorite people. I heard the name, Tim Bradley, but I didn't, like you said, we had it muted. So did you say something about?
No, I was just saying one of our fans had commented, I think it was William Wrestling, and some other the viewers were saying that sounded like Bradley might have been critical of Inaway. I was just letting them know that we didn't hear. We can't comment on that.
I didn't hear.
So that was it. We'll keep it moving. That last one talking about Espinosa, Tony was asking that. So hope that answered your question, Tony. I agree with you. That would be a tough fight. We'll throw a few more questions, bud, and then we will sign off. I will let you hopefully get some sleep. And we will
be on the podcast. We'll be on the podcast
That's
Tuesday.
Right. We're going to recap all these fights, and it will be aired, as you just said, on Tuesday. Kind of follow up to that, Inquisitive just said, would Espinosa be Inoue's toughest fight?
Him and Nakatani.
Yeah. Let me see what else we have. Again, people keep asking, was the stoppage early? We touched on that earlier, but some of the viewers just coming in now. But if you want to just quickly just surmise what you said before on this stoppage, I think a lot of people do
I think
feel
you
that
have
way.
to see the round before had a lot to do with the stoppage. He was taking a lot of punishment at the end of the round. He survived the round. He's a lot of hard Cardenas. We know that. He survived the round before. The referee was going to keep a close eye on him. He started taking a lot of punishment early in the round, and his legs gave out just a little bit. He was still up. He was still cognizant. He was still aware, but in a way, he had the offensive flow. He was in control of it. Like I said, he jumped on him, picked up where he left off. I think the referee had it in his head, I'm going to watch him in the beginning of this round because of the way the last round finished. He took a lot of punishment. I'm going to be careful. He got there. He got hit. He started to sway off a little bit. And I think he felt he did the right thing. I could see because of the heart of Cardenas and how he recovered in the past. I could see you saying give him a little more time, but I can't argue with what the ref did. I'm sorry. And the final thing I'll say to that is what the information was given to my son before, that the corner had already said that this was going to be the last round. if he didn't get something going. So the corner also, in saying that, was saying what the referee was saying, that he's taking a lot of punishment and we're not going to let him take any more. So if the corner's saying that and the referee does that, it's kind of hard to argue. That's all. I understand.
Yeah. Alan W. just said Inoue, the best technical destroyer since Triple G. A lot of Inoue fans.
Yeah, and look, how can you not be a fan? He's a terrific destroyer. He's got technique, he's got everything. Some of his punches were a little wider, fatter than sometimes tonight, a tiny bit, not much. I'm really being an idiot now because I'm really picking. I'm picking because when you have great fighters, you got to pick to get anything. You got to really be, going overboard. But no, look, there's nothing to knock about him. He shows everything, even the quality of the greatest quality of a champion, the ability to get up when being hurt, when being dropped, and behaving like he does everything. He's a great finisher. He is a destroyer. He is a destroyer. The little difference, Triple G was great. I love him, and he was a destroyer. A lot of the guys he was destroying, some of them were, some of them were, I'm taking nothing away from because I really admire Triple G. But when he was on HBO fighting those regular fights that he was fighting every couple months on HBO, if my memory serves me, some of them were with smaller guys, junior middleweights that had moved up, to middleweight, and Triple G, not that he needed the advantage, but he was already a big middleweight. So the point I'm making that maybe separates it a tiny bit, I'm taking nothing away from Triple G, one of my favorite fighters, but he was destroying sometimes guys where he was physically bigger besides everything else. And in a way, he's destroying guys after moving up. How many weight classes already? Four, 3 or 4. That's got to be equated into it when you're kind of measuring the greatness of Inaway as a destroyer. I think that has to be tabulated in a little bit, that he's destroying guys in his 4th weight class. Am I correct there, bud?
It sounds right. I don't have that in front of me.
Third or fourth?
I think it is 4. I think it's more than 3.
Yeah.
Some people asking, we have Danes joined in, saying people forgetting about Loma. He hasn't retired yet. Obviously, huge fan of Loma.
Great fighter.
Yeah, we don't know if Loma wants to fight anymore, guys. He had a little break since the Kambosos fight. Hopefully, we'll find out soon. I don't know if the motivation is there right now.
Fights. He's accomplished everything a fighter would pray and dream to accomplishment. Winning titles at 3 different weight classes, breaking records, winning a world title in his 3rd pro fight, winning 2 Olympic gold medals. I mean, he's accomplished everything, and he's getting older. Let the guy walk off. Let a fighter sometime, and I'm not knocking the fans, I'm just talking to you. I love you. But let these guys walk off to the sunset sometimes when they've earned the right to walk off into the sunset.
I'm with you, bud. Crimson just said early stoppage, ? He was taking a lot of punishment, squatting down and shelled up. The referee had no choice. He should have taken a knee. Talk about that, Bud, of the mindset sometimes why fighters don't take knees in those situations.
Which fight is this? Which one?
We're talking about the main event, the Inoue Cardenas stoppage. Fighters, they don't take knees in those situations. You never have that conversation. You don't practice in the gym taking a knee in those kind of in-game situations like we might practice in football, towards the end of some dire situations. So I said it before, just recapping for the viewers that jumped on. I thought maybe an 8 count would have saved him. The ropes held him up, which should have been ruled a knockdown. But could you just talk on that of why he didn't maybe take a knee and the mindset of the fighter?
I'm gonna get to it right away. Very easy for me. The one thing that you don't practice in boxing, you should practice tying up. You should practice inside fighting, outside fighting, traps, defense merged with offense. You should practice all those things, all those areas, all of them, all of them. We don't practice submitting. I know paid my man and my friend. And by the way, he's a great fight fan again. He's a great fan of the podcast. He's a former professional fighter, and he happens to be a great lawyer. But I know that he would applaud, he would second what I'm saying here very simply. You don't practice submission in our sport. That's all I can tell. I'm not arguing that it could be smart at something. Oh, it can't be smart and it can't help you and it can't save you. I'm not arguing that. You don't practice submitting. We don't. That movie 300. The movie 300. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. The movie, and I know you love that movie. I love that movie, right? The Spartans, Sparta, right? And he's got his 300 against 10,000. He's got a whole bunch of fighters that come to try to help him. And he say, we got 2,000 men here to help you. And he says, thank you. We don't need your help. And he says, what do you mean? There's only 300 of you. There's 3,000 of us. He says, yes, but what do you do for a living when you're not fighting? He says, I'm a shoe. I make shoes. Okay, what do you do? I'm a grocer. What do you do? I farm my lands. And then he turns to his 300. He turns to his 300 Spartan warriors and he says, what do we do? In other words, we're fighters. That's all we do. We fight. And there is no room in that definition that includes submitting, includes practicing taking a knee. There's just, I'm not saying I can't save you. Matter of fact, Tim Bradley, who I think was one of the biggest heart fighters I've ever seen, a great champion, tremendous heart. He one time did it actually. Go back and Google it. Go back and find it. You're the fan. You're smart. I'm giving you credit. I'm giving my fans here, our fans, credit. You're the best. Go back and look at the Provatnikov fight. He took an awful beating in that fight. It almost destroyed him. And in the 10th round, when he got hurt again, and he had to survive to win, he took a knee. And it was smart. And he didn't submit. He did not submit. It was smart. It was instinctive. He did it thinking on his feet, and it saved his belt. And
that fight was incredible.
It was incredible. And his heart was incredible. But again,
Calvin Gregory just said, we are firemen. We showed that.
Yeah, we are firemen. You, again, say whatever you want to say, but I have never practiced. I've been in the boxing business 50 years, but I've been fortunate enough to train a lot of fighters in a lot of corners and have a lot of success, and I'm grateful for it. I have never practiced and taught my fighter to take a knee. And you know what? I never will. I'm sorry, because I don't want to suggest that way of thinking to my fighter. I don't want to open the door. I'll tell him, if you get hurt, tie him up. If you move your head, you get hit the first one, move your head so you don't get the follow-up. Doesn't hit you. I tell him all that. I tell him, tie him up and do what the old timers did. Walk him to the corner and walk him slow. So you waste 10 seconds walking them to the corner, walking them to the ropes. But I ain't going to tell them, that's okay. We got 5 minutes left in the workout today. Let's spend the last 5 minutes working on taking a knee. No.
My sport, you take a knee. W. Your sport, you take the knee, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're right.
And talking about 300, that is such a great movie. I love the part you made me think of when he says the arrows will blot out the sun. And he said, then we will fight in the shade. That was such a great movie.
He said to me, he asked him the question. That was great. That was beautiful, bud. He asked him a question. What will you do when so many arrows are fired at you? They will blot out the sun. What do you do then? We will fight in the shade.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm not sure. Alan W. is saying, Ted, why did you corner the fireman on Saturday? Not sure, Alan, the question there, if you want to put it in there, and I'll squeeze in one last question before we sign off for Teddy.
What is that? I don't know what that means.
No, we'll see if he clears it up. I'm just not sure the way it was worded.
I hope the fans enjoyed it. I'm glad that the fans were with us. So many smart fans, so many passionate fans, so many, just we appreciate all of you. And I'm so happy my friend, Pedro Martinez Vago, was there.
Yeah, that was nice to see some familiar names. And it's nice I'm getting familiar in the chat with some of the usernames and seeing some friendly faces or names come back in and join us, and hopefully on a consistent basis. So next week, we haven't decided. I don't know if we'll be doing the live stream. Maybe you get a week off and some rest finally there, bud. But you'll decide during this week, and we'll let the fans know on the podcast, which airs on Tuesday, if we will do it or not. But another fan-friendly Mexican fighter who only makes good fight, the champion, former two-weight class champion, Emmanuel Navarrete. He returns to the ring. I believe that's May 10th on Saturday.
Yeah, he throws punches from all angles. He's always high with the punch numbers, throws a lot of punches, volume. Got all the heart in the world. And he's got a very awkward style. Very awkward. Leaves himself available to get hit. That's part of his appeal, part of his lure, that people like to see him because, he fights with everything. He fights entertaining fights. He engages you, and you can hit him.
Well, I think I hope everybody enjoyed it. We've been on for quite some time. Great fights, great choice by you. You brought it with that fight shirt. I thought you were gonna maybe need the.
I take credit.
Yeah.
I set the stage. I set the atmosphere by wearing this.
I thought you were gonna maybe need the Hagler war hat, but that was enough. Thankful for those fighters tonight. We really needed it, as you said. Great fights. I had a lot of fun. This was awesome. A lot of viewers with us. We really appreciate you guys. We'll let you know for the next live stream. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, help us spread the word. If you want to see more of this and want Teddy to keep doing it, help get the word out there for us. We'll be back on Tuesday. Before we sign off, bud, final words?
Yeah, I always have a couple final words, even though I had probably enough words. People probably already heard enough from me and said, Teddy, we heard enough. But thank you. Just 2 simple words. Thank you for being with us. That was, how many words was that? That was a couple more than 2. I added a couple.
It's getting a little late over there.
That's Teddy Atlas style.
That's right.
When is Teddy Atlas ever gonna finish with 2 words? When? There's no line in Vegas that's gonna give a line. And thank one other person, our number 1 fan out there. Can I thank that person?
Please.
Please, I want to thank that person, Lana Atlas, our number 1 fan out there.
No question.
Thank you.
She's the best.
For always being there, for always watching, and for always critiquing, and always doing it in such a positive way. That's always nice.
Yeah, she's the best. And I just want to wrap up with this. Alan W. just said a lot of people in here on an early Monday morning. People love you, Teddy. Good night. So I love
Where's
you, bud. Thank you.
where is that? Where's he, Alan?
He's on the chat right now.
Oh, early in the morning. I forgot. I am so dazed and I need an 8 count. I need an 8 count. I am so dazed and confused by doing 3 nights in a row of live streams that when you're saying morning, I'm thinking, well, it's not morning. I'm gonna go eat dinner now. It
And let
is
me sign
morning.
off with this right on the end. I felt something wrong tonight with the stream. Our man Matt Borgeson was not here with us tonight, and right as we're signing off, here he is. He said, "Inaway is old school. What a beast!" And he is a beast, Matt. And thank you for being with us. As awesome. Lobster Click said, "Teddy, you're awesome. All you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you again, bud. We'll see everybody soon for the next one."
And all of you are awesome. And Matt, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you.